Hello friends, our today's topic of discussion is QAM, that is quadrature amplitude modulation. To understand, the objectives of today's lecture are to understand QAM working principle and to discuss the QAM transmitter and receiver. Basically, the quadrature amplitude modulation, it utilizes both amplitude and phase components to provide a form of modulation that is able to provide high level of spectrum usage efficiency. QAM has been used for some analog transmissions including AM stereo transmission, but it is for data applications where it has come into its own. It is able to provide a highly effective form of modulation for data, and as such it is used in everything from cellular phones to Wi-Fi and almost everywhere other form of high-speed data communication. So in phase signal components are present over here and quadrature signal components are present over here. QM is a signal in which two carriers shifted in phase by 90 degrees are modulated and combined. As a result of that 90-degree phase difference, they are in quadrature and this gives rise to the name. Often, one signal is called the in phase or I signal and another signal is called quadrature or Q signal. The resultant overall signal consisting of the combination of both I and Q carriers contains of both amplitude and phase variation. In view of the fact that both amplitude and phase variations are present at the it may also be considered as a mixture of amplitude and phase modulation. A motivation for this use of quadrature amplitude and modulation comes from the fact that a straight amplitude modulated signal, that is double sideband, even with suppressed carrier occupies twice the bandwidth of a modulating signal. Analog and digital QAM. Quadrature amplitude modulation may exist in what may be termed either analog or digital formats. Analog versions of QAM are practically used to allow multiple analog signals to be carried on a single carrier. For example, it is used in PAL and DSC television systems, where the different channels provided by QAM enable it to carry the components of chroma or color information. In radio applications, a system known as a CQAM is also called as a AM stereo radio. Here, the different channels enable the two channels required for stereo to be carried on the single carrier. Digital formats of QAM are offered or referred to as a quantized QAM, and they are being increasingly used for data communication, often within radio communication systems. Radio communication systems ranging from cellular technology, as in the case of LTE, through wireless systems including WiMAX and Wi-Fi 802.11 use a variety of forms of QAM, and the use of QAM will only increase within the field of radio communication. Now we can see the block diagram of the QAM transmitter. Into that, basically it is a form of digital modulation similar to PSK, except the digital information is contained in both the amplitude and phase of the transmitted carrier. With QAM, amplitude and PSK are combined in such a way that the position of the signaling elements on the constellation diagrams are optimized to achieve the greatest distance between elements, thus reducing the likelihood of one element being misinterpreted as another element. Q8QAM is M-array encoding technique where M is equal to 8. Unlike 8PSK, the output signals from an 8QAM. Figure here we are going to see the only difference, if you come find out, it's the 8QM transmitter and 8PSK system is omission of the inverter between the C channel and the Q product modulator. As with 8PSK, the incoming data are divided into groups of 3 bits, private, the I, Q and C bit streams, each with a bit rate equal to the 1/3 of a modulator. Is not a constant amplitude signal. So here we can see that is the 3 component IQC over here. Input data is FB. So it is divided by 3 due to these components. So we can find out here that is I channel FB by 3, Q channel FB by 3. Then these are applied to the level converters, 2 to 4 level converters. So what we are getting the output, that is for at the upper side we can find out the PAM, at the Downside also we can find out the output of the converter, that is PAM. Both are given to the product multiplier modulator where the reference carriers are used to modulate the signals. One is sin omega ct and another is 90-degree phase shifted sin omega ct. That is nothing but cos omega ct. That the output of the product multipliers or modulators are given to the linear summer, and the output of that it is applied to the bandpass filter to get 8 QAM output. Now here we can see that I and Q components and C component over here, and the output voltages for the each. This is the block diagram of 16 QAM transmitter. Here we can find out that is basically B of T is taken and the serial to parallel converters are used so that to separate out the bits like BK, BK plus 1, BK plus 2, BK plus 3. These are the 4 bits and that are taken at every clock, that is TS. Then these are applied to the D2A converters over here. That is BK and BK plus 1, it is applied to D2A converter, one D2A converter, and another, that is D2A converter, which will be having the inputs BK plus 2 and BK plus 3. These are the bits. Now the output of these two we are getting, that is AE of T, that is even signal, and AO of T, that is odd signal, and that are multiplied with the balance modulator with the help of the carriers over here under root of PS cos omega ct, and then that are applied to the adder to generate QASK output, or you can say that is QAM output over here. Basically, what is happening in 8QAM, the bit rate in the I and Q channels is 1/3 of the input binary rate, the same as in 8PSK. As a result, the highest fundamental modulating frequency and fastest output rate of change in 8QAM are same as the 8PSK. Therefore, the minimum bandwidth required for 8QAM is FB divided by 3, the same as it is in 8PSK. In 16QAM, the input binary data are divided into 4 channels I, Q and Q. But here we can find out the bit rate in each channel is equal to the 1/4 of the input bit rate, that is FB by 4. So 4 bits are serially locked into the bit splitter, then they are outputted simultaneously and in parallel with the I, Q and Q channels over here. The I and Q bits determine the polarity at the output of the 2 to 4 level converters. And the I and Q bits, I dash and Q dash bits determine the magnitude, that is a logic I, that is nothing but 0.821 volts, and logic 0, that is 0.22 volts. Now this is the block diagram for the transmitter. The power spectral density of QAM signal can be find out that is S of F is equal to PSTS sine of pi FTS divided by pi FTS square of the same. The advantages of QAM are, one of the best advantage of QAM supports a high data rate. So the number of bits can be carried by the carrier signal. Because of these advantages, it is preferable in wireless communication networks. QAM's noise immunity is very high. Due to this, noise interference is very less. It has a low probability of error value. QAM expertly uses channel bandwidth over here. In cellular technology, wireless device technology, quadrature amplitude modulation, that is QAM, is preferred. The types of QAM that are like 4 QAM, which has 2 bits per symbol and the number of symbols of 4 over here. As if you refer, that is 8 QAM, the 3 bits per symbol will be used. The number of symbols will be 8 now. In 16 QAM, similarly, you will be getting like 16 number of symbols. In 32 QAM, you will be getting 32 number of symbols, as 5 number of bits per symbol will be used over here. So in case of 8QAM, you can find that 2 amplitude levels and 4 phase shifts are present. As well as in 4QAM, we can find out it's very easy, that is 1 amplitude but 4 phase shifts are present over here. So we have seen the transmitter for the same and the receiver of the QASK or QAM also, which has A to D converters parallel to serial converters. If you find out the bandwidth of this, that is bandwidth is equal to 2FB divided by N here. In 16 QAM, We can find out the error probability also with the Euclidean distance, that is d is equal to under root of 0.4 ES or 1.6 EB. And the error probability is 2 into ERFC of 0.4 EB by divided by NO and square root of this. So we can easily find out the difference over here. The applications, that is last thing here, that is the applications of QAM are mostly observed in radio communications and data delivery application systems. QAM technique has wide applications in radio communication field because as the increment of data rate, there is the chance of noise increment, but this QAM technique is not affected by the noise interference. Hence, there is an easy mode of signal transmission can be possible with this QAM. QAM has wide applications in transmitting digital signals like digital cable television and in internet services. Thank you.